On Tuesday, Bill Barr had a hearing in which he was questioned by both Democrats and Republicans. And you would think in a hearing there should be a discovery in terms of wanting to hear what the person in question has to say. He was being asked questions about the violence that's going on in regards to the riots and the use of police force. And you would think, like I said, in a hearing, you would want to hear what the person in question has to say. But that's not what happened at all. As soon as Bill Barr started answering any question, and this pretty much happened every single time a Democrat asked a question, as soon as the Democrats saw that the answer was not going in the direction that they wanted, they would immediately cut him off and say, I'm reclaiming my time. I'm reclaiming my time.
Okay, reclaiming my time. Excuse me, the time is mine.
I'm starting to lose my temper. Excuse me, Mr. Barr, this is my time, and I control it.
I'm reclaiming my time, Mr. General.
And my time is limited. I have the time.
So what
reclaiming my time.
Yeah, I'm answering your question.
Well, you got to let him answer.
Reclaiming my time. Reclaiming my time, sir. Reclaiming my time, and I know you don't want to answer.
I'm not saying that.
I reclaim my time.
Reclaiming my time.
Reclaiming my time, Mr. Attorney General. Reclaiming my time.
Reclaiming my time. Reclaiming my time, Mr. Attorney. Reclaiming my time. Reclaiming my time, Mr. Barr.
I may reclaim my time, sir.
I think in another one I voted by
reclaiming my time. Okay, reclaiming my time.
Publication.
Reclaiming my time, sir.
I will get to that. Reclaiming my time. You answered the question. Mr. Attorney General, reclaiming my time. Reclaiming my time.
We've waited a long time for you to come here. The time is mine. The time is mine.
Substances.
Attorney General, reclaiming my time.
Reclaiming my time, sir.
Without a rule, I think DHS.
Reclaiming my time. I'm surprised at your lack of respect for a member of Congress.
The Democrats would have been better off bringing a cardboard cutout of Bill Barr and just yelling at it for 5 hours, since they didn't actually have any intentions of wanting to hear what he had to say anyway. And the one time that Bill Barr actually did get to speak uninterrupted was in his opening statement, where he was dropping truth bombs like the fact that the number one cause of death, the number one threat to black Americans is not police, but it is gang violence, crime, homicide. Just watch.
Lives posed by crime on the streets is massively greater than any threat posed by police misconduct. The leading cause of death for young black males is homicide. Every year, approximately 7,500 black Americans are victims of homicide. The vast majority of them, around 90%, are killed by other blacks, mainly by gunfire. Each of those lives matter.
Now, do you think the Democrats heard that? The number one cause of black deaths, the greatest threat to black Americans, is not police officers, it is not fatal police shootings, but it's gang violence, it's homicide. Don't go to Black Lives Matter rallies and present them with those statistics. They might get very aggressive with you. They don't want to hear statistics. You're not allowed to do anything. You're not allowed to present them with any facts, any data that in any way challenges their narrative. And the Democrats are in absolute denial of reality. They are still trying to cling on to this false idea, to this illusionary idea that these protests, which have caused billions and billions of dollars in damage, are mostly peaceful.
Protesters aren't mobs. They are mothers and veterans and mayors.
We've seen mothers and we've seen veterans who are peacefully protesting, not threatening the federal courthouse, beaten and gassed.
And the vast majority of protesters are peaceful.
Most of the protests have been peaceful, Mr. Barr. You know that.
The protests have been mostly peaceful in the same way that Nicholas Cruz, the Stoneman Douglas Parkland shooter who killed 13 kids on Valentine's Day, was mostly peaceful, with the exception of those few minutes where he ran into that school with an AR-15 and gunned down 13 students. The other 23 hours and 50-something minutes that day, he didn't hurt a fly. He was mostly peaceful. That was a mostly peaceful day for Nicholas Cruz. That is the same level of determination that the Democrats are using when labeling something mostly peaceful. It's absolute insanity. They mean to tell you that your eyes are deceiving you. What you see on TV is not actually happening. What you see on the news, what you see on YouTube, what you see these videos floating around on Facebook and social media, in the internet all day long of these riots, of cop cars being flipped over and burned, of stores being looted, of the windows being shattered, of store owners being beaten up. Yeah, none of that is actually happening. This is all just staged by Donald Trump. None of it is actually happening at all. And then lastly, the Democrats to really just be these angry teachers that were just yelling at their unruly, disobedient student, Bill Barr. Bill Barr asks for a bathroom break after a almost 5-hour hearing. And Jerry Nadler, like the angry principal that he is, says, no bathroom break for you, Bill Barr.
Could we take a 5-minute break, Mr. Chairman?
No.
That's a common courtesy,
Dean is
Mr. Chairman, of every witness.
I waited an hour for you this morning. I haven't had lunch. I'd like to take a 5-minute break.
Mr. Attorney General, we are almost finished. We're going to be finished in a few minutes. Otherwise, we can certainly take a break, but
You're class act.
Okay.
Yeah.
After this.
You're a real class act, Jerry Nadler. I absolutely love Bill Barr's reaction to this as he just calls out Bill Barr in a sarcastic manner for just being the ridiculous, authoritarian, angry child that he is, trying to drag out after 5 hours of yelling at Bill Barr because that wasn't enough. Not only are we not going to allow you to answer any of the questions that we ask as we reclaim our time every single time you answer a question that doesn't go in the that doesn't go in the direction that we like, which is pretty much every single time that we ask a question, and you start debunking our false, illusionary narrative that these protests are mostly peaceful. We're just going to interrupt you, say we're reclaiming our time, but at the end, after over 4 hours, then we're going to yell at you. How dare you, you bad child. You don't get to take a bathroom break. And then, in the midst of a pandemic, Jerry Nadler has his mask pushed down below his bottom lip onto his chin. What is he thinking? Doesn't he know we're in the midst of a deadly pandemic? That you could easily just get COVID and you could die, and you need to be wearing masks at all times. And the mask is not effective when you have it pushed all the way down to the bottom of your chin. What is he even thinking? Anyway, hope you like my video. Write your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe, and I will see you all next time.